And I don't have any law enforcement training. I just got this damn common sense that I can't seem to get rid of. And my common sense, hey, I got it. My common sense is telling me that you knew where these fuckers were. You knew where they partied. Well, they got him. Hey, what the fuck? Close the door. You're letting the light in. It's the police. You bring the evidence. Good. I want to see this every night on the news. I want to turn on the TV and go, ugh, more illegals deported? More? I'm so sick of it. That's what I want to see. Get out. Go. Yeah, go, get. They said the nightclub had 170 plus 911 calls. Nothing. They didn't do shit. Let your business get 170 911 calls. See how quick they shut you down. What's up, Derek? Welcome. Cock and balls. Love the way you spelled that. Welcome. Jackie, welcome. Salty. Aaron, what's going on? Yeah, come on, man. You know who these fools were. And they never went to get them. But they did now. And that's in Colorado Springs. That's San Francisco in the mountains. That's a high altitude San Francisco. What's going to happen when they actually start doing this in places like California, all up and down the West Coast? And forget nightclubs, start hitting these damn meat processing plants and these fields out here. But Jericho, who's going to pick our produce? That's another lie. That's another lie that we're told, that once we find out more and more about the truth, it's not what you told us it was. They told us, and they try to make you believe with their imagery and their words, that the overwhelming majority of the illegals coming over here are just coming here to do the services and the jobs that Americans won't do. They pick our fruit and our vegetables. They process our meat. They clean our hotel rooms. They're working in our kitchens. They're doing yard work, landscaping, construction. Because as we know, nobody cleaned the hotel rooms, were filthy. Food wasn't getting cooked at the hotels. Vegetables weren't being picked. Fruit wasn't being picked. Meat wasn't being processed. No houses were being built, and everybody's lawns were overgrown until the illegals got here. And then finally, these things started getting done because no Americans were building shit or cooking shit or cleaning shit or picking shit. Get out of here with that. If they made every illegal disappear like with a Thanos snap, you think all that produce and those billions of dollars of products are just going to sit out there and rot? There will either be people out there or robots out there. But that shit's getting done. That money's being made. But all this bullshit they tell us, it's all lies. Even go to slavery. That's the worst thing ever, right? Lies. Did it happen? Yeah. Did it happen the way they said it happened? Hell no. Bunch of bullshit. Illegal nightclubs. Well, then shut them down. There's a bunch of illegals in there. Am I missing something? Did I miss law enforcement 101? If they're breaking the law, stop them from breaking it. 82 Camino, again, thank you. JG, okay, so I was just laughing my ass off as your video hit so hard I had to shout, remember? Get ready, Val. You're going to be in for a problem. Get ready, Val. Remember, Joe said that? Who's Val and what is he getting ready for, you senile shit? BJ, thank you. He said, how would Mobster JG handle the illegals at the nightclub? I'm curious as to what he would say. Love you, Jericho. Pretty curious as to what he would say, too. Hydrate, people. Getting warm. Hold on, that's a piece of the ice. You know what? I think Mobster JG could probably clear out all of the illegals in the club with one sentence. You've heard this sentence before, yet It's still very powerful. All right. You walk in, of course, velour suit, gold chains, wife beater t-shirt underneath, fucking grease bag, hey, fucking baseball bat, my fucking hand right here. I walk and I go, hey, get the fuck out of here. That's it. That's it. Let somebody walk into a room and yell those words out and see if you don't get up and start scrambling for, hey, get the fuck out of here. Look, how do I get out of here? It's even better if he has I know I just described the gold chains and all, but if he had a necktie, be even better. Hey, get the fuck out of here. And hey. It's just a thought, man. That's right. All of yous, get the fuck, hey, get the fuck out of here. You don't say the words. Fuck out of here. That's it. All right. Practice that. Get in the mirror. Fuck out of here. All right. Brian King B, what up, man? Good to see you. Glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. If I was a kid, my mom would be like, it's you're here. Down in Utah. I'm an FBI agent. The fuck? Fucking! Is it too late for me to work for ICE? Give me a hat. Fucking badge. Give me a fucking badge. Hey, the fucking! Gone. Pew, 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 pew. The worst. The worst. Probably the worst Italian accent ever caught on tape is Steven Seagal, Out for Justice. He plays Detective Nico Toscano. I think it is. Nico. I know it's Nico for sure. I think his last name's Toscano. It's the worst Italian accent you've ever heard. Yes, Steven Seagal Italian accent nightmare. Yes, it is. But he's telling a story to this mobster, and it's where he says, "Get the fuck out of here." But after, yeah, exactly. None of the mice are, hey, anybody know who killed Bobby Lupo? So he's telling the guy, he puts this mobster uncle of his, puts this guy in the trunk. They go watch a movie to come out, and he's like, hey, Uncle So-and-so, what about the guy in the trunk over here? And the guy, he opens the trunk, and he goes, hey, get the fuck out of here. And the guy jumps up and runs off. And the mobster asks Steven Seagal, he goes, well, did he run? And he goes, like a bird. I don't know why that's so funny, but that shit was ridiculous. Like a bird. Aaron M., I am offended by your question. He asked, did I consume the devil's lettuce? Why? Because I'm being silly. I'm in a good mood. Happy to see you guys. Any chance I get to do that Italian accent, I'm going to do it because it's fucking hilarious. Like a bird. Anyway, that's not why I came here. So, you guys want to feel sorry for someone? I already do. You need to share in it with me. Check in on Big Mike. What's going on, Big Mike?
What would you say has been the most hardest recent test of that fear? Because it's not one of those fears that you kind of get over and it just goes away. It kind of shows its head in many different ways, I imagine.
Well, in this current climate for me, it's, what's happening to immigrants. So it's not the fear for myself anymore. I drive around in a 4-car motorcade with a police escort. I'm Michelle Obama. I do still worry about my daughters in the world, even though they are somewhat recognizable. So my fears are for what I know is happening out there in streets all over the city. And now that we have leadership that is sort of indiscriminately determining who belongs and who doesn't.
I want you to listen to something that he says in the first sentence. He being Big Mike, not the show host. Listen to what the first few words that come out of his mouth.
Would you say has been the most hardest recent test of that fear? Because it's not one of those fears that you kind of get over and it just goes away. It kind of shows its head in many different ways, I imagine.
Well, in this current climate for me, it's, what's happening to immigrants. So it's not the fear for myself anymore. I drive around.
It's not the fear for myself anymore. When were you afraid? It couldn't have been since 2008. You can't tell me you've been in fear of any kind since 2008 when your husband became president of the United States of America and you were surrounded by some of the most highly trained men and women on the planet. Should have been all men, but whatever. Like you just said, you still have a 4-car motorcade. What was your motorcade like while your husband was president? Double, triple that? Not to mention when you were traveling with him. But even when you were back home being a bitter bitch, that being the first lady and married to the most powerful man on earth with all the amenities just wasn't good enough. Even then, Big Mike, even still when you're at the White House, putting in time on the court, still keeping your skills sharp as a power forward, even though you've been retired for a number of years, even while doing that, you were fearful of what? Oh, it's not fear for myself anymore. Since when were you fearful? Before you became the first lady, and I use that term very loosely. Before that, when you were going, where'd you go? Yale, Princeton? It was pretty rough on those Ivy League campuses. Pretty rough. And if you're so, and he went on in that clip to say that it keeps him up at night. Keeps Mike Obama up at night. The way these illegals are being treated. Well, you must have never slept when your husband was in office because he deported millions of people. He had them wrapped up in those Jiffy Pop blankets and those chain link dog cages where you see the pit bulls looking all sad before they take their final gasp in that little mask. Your husband started that. I wonder if the Palestinians and Iraqis and whoever else was living in the sandbox overseas got the shit droned out of them. Were you losing sleep then, Big Mike? Were you losing sleep then? Or were you up in the middle of the night because the shin splints you got? Because when you were in the NBA, they didn't have this advanced shoe technology yet. You were just out there on some Chuck Taylors. Is that why you were up in the middle of the night? I wonder if you ever kept awake at night by the American citizens who were wronged by the justice system, whose families were ripped apart unjustly. Did that keep you up at night, Mike? Or is it just a poor little illegal? That's who keeps you up at night? Their safety, indiscriminately being snatched off the streets and hurled about the globe, not knowing their final destination. Shut up, Mike, you big bitch. Because you didn't give a damn when your husband was doing it. Anything to keep him out of the house, huh? You just didn't want him around the house bugging you. You didn't care what he was doing or who he was killing or who he was deporting. Get out of here with that shit. No, it's not my safety anymore. Since when was your safety in jeopardy? Since how many 6'2" men out there with shoulders and back like that feel unsafe? You seen the picture of her in that gown? You look like you could play the xylophone on her back. You kidding me? You felt unsafe? If you feel unsafe, I'm in trouble. I'm really unsafe then. And if you feel so bad, hey, Brian Kingby, that is not cool. Not cool at all. Look at this shit.